I'm so sorry, guys, for the inconvenience. I've been trying so hard to get this thing. It's my first live. Ugh, when you're not tech savvy. Um, I'm seeing Yanisha. Shout out to Yanisha. Natural JA. Anika. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I guess you guys are here because you really want to hear my story. And I really want to share my story with you guys. I'm a bit nervous, yes. Not the camera person anymore. Or right, so I see more people tuning in. So I give them like at least maybe 2 more minutes and then we can jump into things. All right. All right. So I see 5 persons on. Uh okay. See more persons coming on. All right. Some more time. Alrighty. All right, so I guess I just have to jump on in. I see more people coming on. Great. All right, I see Auntie Lana. Thanks for tuning in. In case you're wondering, I have my computer checking out the comments and stuff. And I'm trying to use my phone. I finally get connected. I hope I don't get disconnected. All right. So I have my paper with my jottings because I don't want to miss anything. I want to make sure that I go in the details. All right, so enough of the chit chatting. I'm here to share with you my pregnancy journey and also my post pregnancy journey. And the Lord has been really, really good to me. And I just want to thank you guys for joining in. So how my pregnancy journey really started. Uh, I found out I was pregnant when I was like, what, 7 weeks, right? And well, this entire journey really actually began for me when I did my anomaly scan at 20 weeks, right? So I went to do an anomaly scan. In case you guys wondering what that is, it's basically a form of ultrasound that is done to identify to examine the organs to see if they're functional and all of that. The baby's organs, that is, to see if they're functioning well and stuff like that. So when I went and well, backtrack to that before I even jump to that. Let me just backtrack a bit. So after I found out I was pregnant, um, I had my clinic visits and all of that. And then there was an instance in which I was having severe headaches, severe, very, very severe headache. And when I went to the clinic, they told me they wanted to admit me. So I said, hell no, I ain't doing that. I don't want to stay at a hospital. I don't want to sleep at a hospital. And so I discharged myself against medical advice. A lot of my family members just knowing this because I didn't really tell anybody about, this one. So I refused admission. I went home and then I was still having the headache. It intensified. And then they decided that they were going to admit me. And so I went ahead and I said, okay, all right, I'm going to accept the admission. And oh boy, so much. It's a whole lot. Anyway, so I accepted the admission and they admitted me because they were wondering if I had preeclampsia. So characterized by high blood pressure, yada 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 works. Anyway, so they examined me. I was hospitalized for 3 days, right? And then they discharged me because there wasn't anything major happening. And then, like, in the space of like 3 weeks, I went to, fast forward to the anomaly scan thing. So for 3 or 4 weeks, fast forward to the anomaly scan day. And when I did the anomaly scan, my doctor, he realized that something was wrong. And that's the time I actually found out the gender of my child and stuff. And the doctor realized that, well, he said that he's actually seeing the membrane, the sac that the child is in. It's visible with a transvag ultrasound. So, as in, you can see with the naked eye, not using a microscope, and see the sac that the baby is in. Right. So, that when he told me, I was like, oh God, admission again. Because I really did not want to, be admitted back at the hospital. And, you know, when he told me, he also said to me that he saw something um, on the baby's heart. Well, something that indicates that there might be an anomaly, meaning there might be some form of abnormality. He may not develop as a normal child. Hearing all of that, I wasn't worried when he told me about the abnormality. Not at all. My faith increased, and I said, "You know what, God, I believe that you're going to work it out." And oh God, manabal. So I said, "God, I know you're going to work it out." And then he said to me, "All right, Samson, I'm going to have to bring you to the clinic and then let they admit you and all of that." And then I just started crying because I didn't want to be admitted. And I'm like, call my husband and say, honey, they're gonna admit me again. And with all of that. Right. I'm strong today. I'm strong. So after the whole admission thing, they wrote me up. They said they had to do an emergency surgery. My dash for the paper. Can't bother. I'm a whole member. I believe you got to remind me of all these things because it's so much. So they wrote me up for an emergency surgery. So I had to do a surgery to correct what was happening. So basically, what they wanted to do or what they did was suture certain areas to keep the baby in. So I don't want to use any um, elaborate terms to throw off anybody. So um, I was on the ward and I was there for a while, and like I was admitted at, let's say, after 10 a.m. I did the surgery probably 11 p.m. or something like that. And on my way down, when the nurse was bringing me to the operating theater, I had so much joy in my heart. I remember saying the Lord is my shepherd confidently. And I was like, God, just just help me through this. I know you start the process, you're going to finish it. And I had the surgery, and during the surgery I was placed in the most uncomfortable position of my life. All right, so it's like for those who are, well, let me not say medically inclined, but I was actually turned upside down in order to facilitate the surgery because they could not find any membrane, any place to actually suture. So it was just like a thin layer to keep the baby in, and it wasn't enough. So they had to turn me upside down basically. And so my head was actually touching the floor, my feet were way up in the air. And during that process, well, I did the surgery under spinal anesthesia, meaning they injected some fluid, not fluid, medication, numbing medication into my spine or back to facilitate the surgery. And during that process, stuff happened, like in terms of I was because I was turned upside down, my stomach muscles it relaxed, and all the let me see if y'all oh you're still there. So the stomach muscles it relaxed, and all the like the contents in my stomach, because I was basically not allowed to eat any food before the surgery. So there was really nothing much in my stomach, just stomach contents. And the muscle relaxed and it just sent up everything in my throat. During the process, I felt like I was aspirating. And, the anesthesiologist and the nurses there, they tried to calm me down because I wanted to do it while I was awake, but they ended up have to sedate me. All right, so surgery over. Um, I was in a lot of pain. I got some pain medication on my tongue. It come like the petadine told me an idiot. But anyway, me not take my hope to God, me not to take that no more. Let me not stray too much and get to the nitty gritty of the details. So after the surgery was completed, I went back to the unit, and then they reviewed me. I had to do another assessment, another ultrasound to see if the length has increased. And so that was like a day or two after, something like that. And so they checked it. At that time I messaged people. That's when persons really found out that I was in the hospital. I called them up. I say, just pray for me. I trust in God. I don't want to do another surgery. Doctor say, you know what, you're gonna have to do another surgery. Sorry. So that's in the space of the same week. So a few days after, I was booked for an elective surgery to repeat the same process. And let me see the comments. Let me stop. Oh no, no bother with the balling pan here, so you know. Oh no, don't bother with the balling. Don't bother with the balling. I'm here to tell you how good God is. Anyway, so where was I? I was for the surgery. So they told me that I had to do another surgery, as me say. And I was refusing it to God, me not do it. I call my husband, I say, honey, this is what they want to do. I'm trusting God, but the Lord had it otherwise. So the night before I did the second surgery, my airway started acting up. I felt like there was something in my throat, like like it was blocking off my airway, like I could hardly breathe, but my oxygen level all right, everything all right. So the anesthesiologist came and saw me, and I made it known that I was having some discomfort in my throat. So I don't want to go under general anesthesia, meaning me never want them put me to sleep. So that was what the I was actually considering general anesthesia for the second procedure. But because of the airway thing and I didn't know what was there, I didn't want them to push down anything in my throat to cause any form of complication. So I said, oh God, I have to do spinal anesthesia again. I hated that thing. Anyways, so I discussed it with my team and they say, yes, okay, spinal. And that one wasn't so bad. The second surgery wasn't so bad. And so after I did the second surgery, I came up and my throat just started feel extremely sore. Remember, they did not put anything down my throat. They didn't do anything to my airway. And my throat was extremely sore. I could hardly swallow. I remember my husband brought food for me and I could not eat it, and I was extremely weak. Yes, I was extremely weak and my throat dry. Lord, should I put on my water yourself with that? Anyway, so, oh God. Right. So after the surgery done and thing, and as me tell you about my airway, I remember the night after I did the surgery, my airway felt like it was closing off, and I remember had to call the nurse, and they gave me some BPH to soothe it down. I couldn't lay flat. I had to sit at a particular angle. Thank you, honey. I had to sit at a particular angle. Excuse me the 1 minute. Right. I had to I had to sit up at a particular angle in order to get like a sleep, and I was scared to sleep at some point because of the whole airway thing. And I told the doctor something's going on. It is not just a regular short issue or GERD. So what would happen is that when I lie down and sleep at night, I had to. That's in the hospital actually. So I let me make it clear. I spent almost 4 months there, and so when I lie down, as I said, I would have I'd feel like the acid in my stomach coming up in my throat, and it would also irritate my airway as well. But I told the doctors that something was wrong, and I keep pressing them, and I told them that they need to refer me to ENT, meaning ear, nose, and throat specialist, right? And they did. They did that. Yeah, they did that. And when I went to the ENT specialist, the doctor was amazed. Well, in shock. She was like, "Oh my God, your throat looks like you have drank acid." Yup, every membrane in my throat was gone. It was peeled off actually. Like you get burn and oh, it's so much. Okay, when I see nobody I comment and I just the story, so alright. So it's like all the membranes in my throat, like it peel off. So and she also said that she saw that my airway was swelling. So when I was saying that I feel like I couldn't breathe and all of that, so they placed me on some IV medication like every single day, every morning and so I have to get IV, one new IV access. I don't know if none of ever get juket with IV access. To get on IV access, it's hot. I'm afraid I don't like it. And so like every morning, can I sleep so bad? I sleep so bad. I'd have to every morning, like when the nurse come to give me the IV medication, it's leaking. I'll be like, oh God. I remember calling my husband and saying, honey, come take me out. Me can't manage. I can't take this no more. Too much joke, me can't manage. Anyway, so the airway thing over time, over a few days, it cleared up because I couldn't really I started drinking stuff and then graduate to like a semi-soft diet and then I couldn't start eat again. And I thought, yeah, I'm on my way to recovery. And note I was placed on bed rest. I'm say, all right, I soon come out of here. And them say, if everything good and dandy, you'll be fine. Then measure about the cervix length and everything. And then them say, looks a prosperous field. So I was really disappointed. And then in that same stretch, I I was having some discomfort in my body, did a test, and I I had acquired hospital, what do you call it? Oh, I can't find the word now, but hospital acquired infection. So it's an infection when you're in a hospital setting, your immune system might be weakened and stuff, so you're prone to catching stuff. And so I that was another thing. Anyway, I got my medication that was resolved, and so I was at the let me see if I'm gonna check on my paper. If me miss out nothing. Right. Airway challenge. I told you that. Told you about my bed rest. Yes. So the airway thing my dad telling about. It actually I'm for those persons who know me and know how I speak, realize that there is this hoarseness in my voice. Um they because of the whole episode of things that transpired, I think it has something to do with the way I speak, also in terms of the pregnancy as well. So affects my voice. I can't really them high note they means to sing. Man, I know if Crystal online and I hear me, because remember them high notes that I cannot crack one. If you ever hear me, I sound like I don't even know anyway. All right. So with all of that, things were picking up and I was discouraged because I'm told that I have to stay at the hospital for longer than I expected. And so I would just encourage myself, read the word, read book, and happy up myself and make other people happy. And a lot of people had no idea what I was going through because I didn't broadcast it. You would know by my status, you would know by anything. If I didn't tell you, you would not know. And so I toughed it out, and days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months. And I told myself, all right, I always wanted to do a maternity shoot. So by the hook or by the crook, I guess there are non-Jamaicans on here, but it basically means whichever way, however I have to get it done, I'm going to get it done. And so I team up with a few of my friends. I message them, and a good friend of mine, big up yourself. I sent you it media if you're watching this, my videographer. And by the way, this is not a paid ad. I'm just shouting out my friend. All right, so they actually went ahead and we decide that we're gonna use the hospital location. For those persons who have seen the video, you realize, and the nurse, I team up with the nurses as well. The nurses on Ward 12. Thank you so much at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Thank you so much. I team up with them and they made it happen. My friend Patila came and she pampered me and pretty me up and everything, and we made it pop. I'm sure you guys love the I'm sure you guys love the shoots. Let me see if you're having any questions. I see 17 people on. Thank you. Right. So after I have my maternity shoot and thing, and my thing say, a time for me go home. I must say no, them can't send me home because my cervical, the length is not where it's supposed to be, and they don't want me to go home because for those persons who know me, I'm always up and down, active, even with the belly, with it active. Even though them say bed rest, mother want get up and break the rule, but I'm trying my best to stay in the bed still. But they prolonged the process and they said that I can't go home, and so I had to condition my mind, and then the same airway thing reoccurred. So there was a time where I couldn't swallow. The hospital acquired infection reoccurred. Oh God Almighty, it has to be God. The hospital acquired infection reoccurred, and the airway complication reoccurred. And I remember, I think one of my worst part of the whole hospitalization process was getting dexamethasone for the development of the baby lung should the baby born premature. And it was the hottest injection I've ever had. Not on the nurse's part. It was administered well, everything, but it's just how the injection stayed. My entire body quivered for about 2 minutes. I felt like I don't know if any of you ever hit your knee or so on a piece of iron or something like that, and you just feel like a shock radiating through your body. It's something like that I felt. And I tell you, I tell the Lord, say, oh, I think I got like, how many doses again? It was three or so, three, four. I don't remember. Honestly, don't remember. But every single time I would bawl out on the ward, like, God have mercy. And the nurses would just like, oh God, here again. So I dread that whole encounter. And that was to me one of the deadliest part of admission for me. Anyway, I got the medications and I overcame that. And then it was time for discharge. Yes, they said that they were gonna send me home. I begged the nurse, I begged the doctor. I said, Doc, November November 14 is my birthday, so I want you to discharge me on my birthday. Anyway, not the airway thing. We ended up had to treat that and clear up, and the hospital acquired infection that was treated cleared up. So after those resolved, they decided, okay, I'm gonna send you home. So I was home for a few days. Yes, and then I went back to the hospital because based on the surgery that I did, any little thing, any little pain, any little thing on my feel out of the norm, I had to rush to the hospital. So I had like three different instances in between that I had to go there. And then the labor, it's time for labor story. That was like 36 weeks or something like that. I don't even remember. But anyway, Um, I was home. I'm telling you the labor story now. So I'm discharged from hospital. I've gone through all the emotional phase. You'll be wondering how did I cope through all that? You can send your questions and everything down the line. And then I'm done when I finish. Or if you want to share it now, fine. So for the labor part, yes, Lord, let me sit down good for that one, yeah. I don't want it not. I don't want to discourage anybody from giving birth. Giving birth, having a baby is a beautiful thing. I might go again. Anyways, let me take me not take it back, but yeah. So I was home. This is my labor story. I was home. My husband went on the road, and I remember. Well, before that, I woke up in the morning and I was like, "Honey, expect anything today." I wasn't in any pain. I wasn't like I was like telling him, "I think I'm gonna have baby today." No sign at all. There was nothing really happening with me to say, you know. And when well, I, he went on the road, and I was here, and I started feeling contractions, and I used to have those on the ward, but them false contractions there, right? And then let me see if I still the boat. I lose two people. Must that I chat too much? Anyway, me soon get to. All right, so I was having the contractions and thing. And may I say, well, I think this is the usual thing. I don't think it's anything off. And while I was having the contractions, like me, I said, but wait, oh, it's so, oh, it takes so long. Oh, it's so constant and thing. And then when my husband came home, I felt I felt a turn, like the baby actually do a 360 flip in my belly. I'm like, what? Like literally, I could see that there's like the baby stand up, something like that, right? Rotate in my belly, and then I said to my husband, I called one of my nursing midwives, and he told me, I think you're in labor, you need to come like ASAP. So I went to the hospital and they checked me and all of that, and because I started feeling pain like about was like real pain. Maybe like nine something. It was in the night. And when they assessed me, remember that I did the surgery to suture up the area, like right, to keep the baby in. So they had to remove that in order for the baby to come out. Hello. I had about 3 to 4 hours of that. They were trying to remove the the circle. It's called a circloid. You can research it. They were trying to remove it. It took forever. It took forever. I was in so much pain, like in and out speculum. No, no, for no, no speculum day, but something to examine the person, examine the vagina. Something what they use for, what you call it now. But when I do pap smear and them open up whatever, yeah. So it was like in and out, trying to, you know, get the circulars so that I can go into active labor. And that took like me not lie, me not exaggerate. They had to move me from another room to another room, trying to get to see what they can, how they can, get get the circulage out. And then they took out one. Remember, I do two surgeries, so one was in, and they got out one. The other one never come out. They slit it, and then I was in active labor. Started the pain start intensify, and like 12 o'clock. Remember from 9, then 12. I was well 12 o'clock. My baby start heart rate start going up, clocking. If you know, the norm is 120 to 160. My baby's heart rate was clocking 210 thereabout. So they had to be giving me fluids, fluids. Oh wait, uh, may I chat so long? Me not even. True, me not used to live. Right. Okay, guys, there's right. So, so as I was saying, the baby's heart rate went up and all of that, and they started giving me fluids to help bring down the heart rate, and also I was placed on oxygen because I was also having respiratory distress. I was having shortness of breath, and I was really agitated. And nothing they did could bring down the baby's heart rate. So I'd get fluid, 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 fluid. Nothing helped. 12 o'clock, dilated 6 centimeters. 3 o'clock, dilated 6 centimeters. They wanted to get me to 10 in order to deliver vaginally. Why, oh boy? I don't filter, I don't cut nothing, I don't trim nothing. I'll tell you as it is. I have nothing to hide. And so 6 o'clock come, let me check. Nothing. Still six. Baby's heart rate clocking 200 and odd still. And if the baby is inside for too long and all of that, baby can die, I can die, things can happen, things can go wrong. And then at about 7 o'clock, I started having an unusual pain. It wasn't associated to the to the labor pain. So I was having a pain that overpowered the labor pain. And also the baby was resting on my back. So I would have pain throughout. Bear in mind my husband was there holding my hand through the process. And I would say like, honey, rub me back, rub me back. And I remember calling him and say, Mr. Honey, come here, come here. Like he would have take little sit down breaks little bit. I'm say, honey, come here. I love you, but I'm not do it again. I'm not do it again. Him say me chat one bag of foolishness. That's what he said. So I chat a whole heap of foolishness. So him say. Anyways, let me grab a hold of myself. Let me see what I say. Uh, okay. Wanna steal the boat. All right. So with all of that, um, still there. Nothing still 6 centimeters. And then I called one of my doctors and I said, because in the process, same labor thing, yes, I must up the courage and call him. The good thing about labor pain is that it's not constant. So you'll get breaks. The Lord give you breaks. So we bless the Lord for that. You get you get few breaks in between. So you might feel a pain, excruciating pain at this point, and then I remember saying to the Lord, Lord, make it up, give me a break now, God, rest me a little bit, rest me a little bit, and then you can start again. So, and I also even tell the Lord, I give him time, as in me, I say, by this time, why you do this and why you do that. Anyway, so I was going through all of that, and nothing was happening, as in no progress as it relates to labor. And with that intense pain that overpowered the labor pain, it was just I started behaving like I was crazy. Like may I hold on on the rail. There was this rail that was above my head. And I remember holding on to it when both pains came on. And I called the doctor, told him I was explaining to him this is not labor pain, this is something, whatever, and I'm having labor pain along with this. And they checked me and still nothing. Then they came again and said that, since I started dilating, they really don't want me to, they don't want to, they were considering a emergency C-section because of the baby heart rate and all that I was going through and all of that. And so they were also saying that they didn't want to go ahead with the C-section. Really, they wanted to hold off a bit because I start dilating so far already. Anyway, I call on God and I said, God, please, I'm begging you, just do something. And I told you that I called my other doctor, and he said that he's on it. He's gonna send somebody to come and check me. And then in the process of checking, that doctor, the Lord just work it out that the doctor ended up removing the cerclage. So it's like that cerclage that couldn't be pulled, they actually him just assessed me and it came out. And shortly after that, things start working up, and I start dilating 8 centimeters and all of that. And then they say, it's time. Well, I'm me tell them, I say, I'm ready now, I'm ready. You know, much time I get them false alarm and say, you know what, I'm ready to go. But, you know, I went ahead, I went into the labor room. Well, each time they check me, my husband would have to exit the room. And so they brought me to the theater, and they say, where's the husband? Where's the husband? And I call him, and I say my husband just show up in a medical suit and all these things, and he was standing right beside my head, over my head, and he's like, you're okay. You're okay, honey. And I made a few pushes, and then I didn't have to get any epidural tongue. Was it epidural? Not epidural. Anyways, me never have to induce labor. I can't right now my brain not so me still have pregnancy brain. So I can't remember some of the terms them. But yes, so my husband was there to the process. I did a few pushes and baby came out, and when the baby come out and I look at him, I say, okay, at first glance I see him. I know this is my baby. He looks just like my husband, and I was like out of it. I didn't fall asleep though. It's like I couldn't believe that it happened. I was like in it's like everything that was happening. You thank God for those breaks. Yes, Lizette, of course. We thank God for the breaks. Somebody said I got the injections to brave up myself and to I think I got four. Yeah, above four. It did hot. It did really, really hot. Yes. Right. So baby born and thing, and tell you the truth, I had no strength in me to hold my baby and stuff, and I I was like, it's like me couldn't believe say everything just over and done. After the baby come out, didn't have any pain or anything like that. I was weak. And then so a day after delivery, I got to carry home my bouncing baby boy, and he is healthy. He was healthy. He didn't have any visible or any known or identifiable anomaly or problems. Thanks be to God. And I brought him home, and then like 2 days after that, or 3 days, my legs start getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I never know the part here. Nothing, never know the part here. My legs started expanding. I couldn't walk, like my foot set. Like, say I can show no, like, wait. Like your foot set so. Now one, like it couldn't bend like this, like foot set so. That was like walking. And I tell you, I was I was saying, oh my God, what is happening now? I didn't panic or anything. Come on, so many I did in the process. Something that for him. God did have to get in glory. People did have to hear the testimony first before me did. And so I remember I think the day after, because I thought it was a part of, the whole pregnancy thing. So may I say, but me never so swell. So why may I swell now? I'm gonna really swell throughout the journey. I didn't have no edema in my foot them and thing. So I watched it for the few days, and then it's like the Lord just spoke to me and said, "Go check your blood pressure." Yeah, I have my blood pressure machine, and I went ahead and I told my husband to check it for me. When I check it, I got 194 over 107. Recheck 190 something over 100 and must say 12. Yep. So you know what that means. I was in hypertensive crisis, as in I could have dead any minute, any second. So I had to leave. Well, my husband was home at that time. God break it out every time when things happen. He's here. And him said, all right, we're going to the hospital. Brought me to the hospital and checked me, and I was telling him all of that. And you know, the whole injection, IV medication, they have to put in access. That's the norm because with a blood pressure like that, anything could happen with me. So I took off bloods to test to see if I was having any preeclampsia or nothing like that and thing. And trust me, that was when I bawled. My ball come say my ball because me didn't have to leave my baby home. I had to leave my baby with my mom, and I never want to leave my baby. You know, you just give birth and you know figure leave your baby and thing, and we start ball and then the whole heap of injections and stuff, and they couldn't find a vein. It's like all of the vein them just just it's like they weren't working. And I remember one of the vein them just swell up big. It got so big, me say, God, no, me can't take it no more. Me say, really, God? But anyway, I muscle up the strength and I say, all right, God, you're with me through this. And I got some medication, some emergency hypertensive medication, as in pressure medication. I hope I don't get too technical. So them give me the pressure medication, so they had to push it through my vein, push it. So instead of giving me orally or via the drip, then put it in a syringe and push it. And you see when I get the medication, I feel my entire scalp like it top numb. Like I couldn't feel my head. I say, oh God, I eat this, I did mega did no. I say, God, I did mega did no. Right. Remember that was after I had my baby and come home and go back to hospital. Anyway, they reviewed me. The medication worked. It didn't get it to the exact point where they wanted it to go, but it was coming down gradually. And so they told me that they're gonna discharge me. And yeah, so they discharged me. They sent me home on medications and by my bill. So sorry. So they sent me home on the medication, and it actually I checked my pressure daily and stuff. And it worked out. There were still other challenges along the way with baby and sleep and all of that and all of that. But it has been it has been a up and down journey, but I am really grateful to God that my baby's here, my baby boy, hear him at night. He's with his daddy. So I'm really happy that the Lord brought me through, and through it all I thank God for friends who are supportive, for the staff that was supportive, the staff at the University Hospital of the West Indies. I know enough people say, oh, them treat whatever, whatever. But I tell you, I got the best care. I was well taken care of. The nurses were nice to me. Both persons who work on the unit, who came over to work on the unit from other departments, everybody did nice to me. So yes, and it throughout this journey, I've learned some things. Let me see. You are boy. Well, superwoman. I wouldn't call it that. I give God all of the credit. I tell you, if it had not been for God, I don't know where I would have been. And this really increased my faith. And something that I didn't really touch on, like being in the hospital, there are persons who were around me, they were getting discharged, like them come, them have them baby, then gone. And I'm just there months on top of months, till almost 4 months. And I'm like, all right, God, I'm trusting you, I'm learning. And there are persons who would say they lose their baby, you'll hear them bawling, you'll see them, and it it just make me appreciate life more. It lets me appreciate people more, and to understand how beautiful it is to be given the opportunity to really have a child. And for those persons who don't and are trying, may I tell you no, don't get discouraged. God can. I've met this person, and I tell you, this lady has been an inspiration to me, and she has gone through so much, and she gave birth, she gave birth to her child. The Lord worked it out after going through so much, so many phases, having so many miscarriages, and the Lord worked it out. So just have the faith and trust him. And if you don't get a child, if it's not the will of the Lord for you to have a child, it's not the end of the world. You can adopt a child, and if you don't want to adopt a child, it's fine. Live, serve God. Don't make nobody pressure you. Say you have to have fitness. If the Lord bless you with a child, give him thanks. Hold on. Right. So anyway, before I start preaching like Paul, right, before I start preaching like Paul, let me tell you guys what I wrote them down. Oh boy, where is it? I wrote down my lessons. Where is it? Uh, so the lessons that I've learned from my um journey, and then I can start taking the questions and answering you if we don't have time. A curfew time, so no not gonna know it. So just tune in. All right. So lessons I've learned. So I have one, two, three, four, six, six, right? So you need support. Yes, whether you believe it or not, you can't do it by yourself. No matter what, in difficult situations, you need support. You need someone in your corner. For me, my husband was my rock. He was there throughout. Cook my food. My husband turned big chef and big time bacon all him something there. Just being there, supporting me, cheering me up, and throughout the journey, he has been so supportive, and I thank God for him. So you definitely need the support. So no matter what situation you're in, it's always good to have that one person. You can't nobody feel say a superman or superwoman. You need that one person where you can say, all right, say this may I feel. And there was this one particular female that stood by me throughout the journey, like every single day with that live. Probably not want me call her name, but thank you so much. You know yourself. I probably not watch it like whatever, whichever. Well, I really, really appreciate all that you've done for me. You've been there. It was like knowing that you call and get stuff done for me and all of that. I really, really appreciate it. Support that actually gave me strength. For all those other persons, unknown a name, unknown a self, I'm really, really grateful for you guys. If I don't think I could have gotten over if I didn't have you guys, and if I didn't have God on my side, if I didn't have this faith, I don't think I would have gotten over. I probably would have, fallen on depression, and because those all that I've gone through were agents of well, they were basically sources. Not, I don't want to say source. They're basically ingredients to make depression in or cause you to fall into depression. But in spite of all of that, I decided I'm gonna stay happy. I'm gonna every single day a nurse would have come by my bedside, they know that they'll be leaving laughing because I tried my best to stay happy and stay positive and all of that. Me end up encourage people instead of them encouraging me. So So yeah, you definitely need the support. All right. The second one, you know who truly cares when you're at your lowest. But sometimes, really and truly, some persons don't know that what you're going through, so they don't the way in which you expect them to respond, they won't respond because they don't know the extent so of your pain. So sometimes we might say, I can't believe say XYZ not come look for me or not call me or whatever, because they don't really know. And sometimes they don't know how to reach out to you. They don't know what to say to you to say, to somebody in such a situation. They don't want to call you and say, oh God, me sorry for here. They don't know what to say. So they just stay away as a coping mechanism. So sometimes um it's not that they really want to stay out. But definitely you know who care for you though. You'll definitely know who truly cares, who are your real friends, persons way, trust me, I've learned. Um Appreciate life every second. Yes, trust me. Every single moment you get to breathe. Appreciate it. If nobody else, Mm, right. So every single moment you get, you know, to breathe, appreciate it. Appreciate the child that God has given you. Many want a child, can't get a child. If you have lost a child and you brought the child close to term and you felt the child moving inside of you, appreciate it. Not many persons get that opportunity. There are persons who would even want to have the feeling of feeling a child move inside their body. And they've never gotten the chance or they will never get the chance. Appreciate it. The child did not come born alive. Still appreciate those moments that the Lord has given unto you. He knows what is best. I know some persons may say, oh, why would God allow this? But, you know, just trust the process and find the good in every situation. Because as I tell you, I've seen persons, I've grown up in society where, I see people abuse kids, and I too was abused and all of that. And well, that may not go through that. Anyway, I shared my testimony years ago on Facebook. So anyway, but I mean, what I'm saying is, you appreciate every single moment where you get. If you have a child, appreciate that child, because you don't know, don't take it for granted. God didn't have to give you what He gave you. He didn't have to. The marriage when give you, the education when give you, He never have to give you. He just afforded the opportunity to appreciate it. Never take it for granted. Um, what's the next thing? Love without limits. Yes. For all those persons that you're angry with, you're upset with, let it go. It's not worth it. It's not worth walking around with pain and and say, oh, this a person I should have do better and whatever, whatever. Let it go. Let it go. Love without limits. Start loving. Don't expect anything in return. People will always be people. Hello, we're born in sin and we're shaped in iniquity. So we do anything. So don't let people's behavior shock you, but just learn to love in spite of, right? In spite of how they treat you bad, love them just the same. Don't have any limits on love. Just love, just give, just care, right? Because that's what the Lord has called us to do, to love. He wants us to extend the love that He has for us to others. So I implore you today to love. I wonder if all along we are looking at the right place in the camera. But anyways, anybody else saying anything? No. So I see I got 21 persons online still. Great. Awesome. Awesome. I guess yours. Be grateful. Be grateful. Be grateful. No matter where you have, be grateful. You don't have the car where you want, be grateful you have one. You don't get the house that you want to live in just yet, be grateful for what you have. The food that you fancy food and the fancy restaurant where you want to go and you can't get to go. The fancy place where you want to go spend the anniversary and you can't get to go there because of financial constraints. Be grateful for what you have. Use what you have and take the time, work towards whatever you want, but be grateful in the process. And appreciate God's gift. Last one, appreciate God's gift. God has given me my voice. Well, for those who know that I could wholly could not. Not big up myself, but I couldn't help myself. And not being able to, because, well, I would sing like every day, literally every single day of my life, I would sing. And not being able to sing the way I want to or sing, because sometimes there's no sound in my voice. Sometimes, like if I try to sing, so I try not to frighten the neighbor them or make them wonder who I hang, which goat I hang somewhere, even though I'm not going through with it. But I try not to sing too much, like, you know. So I have the gift that God gave me, the gift of my voice. I now appreciate my voice more than ever, even though it's not really where it used to be because I lost, well, not necessarily lost it, but it has been altered due to physiological changes and all of that. But I really appreciate it. So whatever gift God give you, nourish it, cherish it, appreciate it. You never have to get it. Just all time kind heart, good heart, and give you. So appreciate it. All right, guys. How long would the this for? We're oh, I hope those persons who are joining in, you can understand my patwa. If you don't understand it, you can, I'll translate it one away, if you what I mean. All right. So if you have any questions, I know me can't believe me I talk for 1 hour. You guys have any questions for me? I figure I didn't lose much people because I'm still there, I'm still depend the live. Oh man, but wait. Oh, I'm not see nobody a message. Nobody not send out. Wanna drop asleep on the live? Eldon. Alright. You guys are most welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. And the experiences that you have in life, nobody buckle up all of them. Some things you have to share with people still, cause some things are at best they don't know. But some things are best kept a secret, but there are certain things when definitely God in it and him need you to share with others to inspire them. You just have to share. So at first I had the video that I released about a summary of my pregnancy journey. I had privated it. I uploaded it on YouTube and make it private. Um, but the Lord, I felt like the Lord was pushing me towards making the video and sharing the story, making an extended version of the story. So I went ahead. I said, "All right, God, the people are not gonna know my business, but anyways, I don't care really, cause you're getting your glory." So you know, I went ahead and share. Well, walked away a bit. Did you talk about postpartum, like shedding, etc.? No, I didn't. I didn't go into that. I didn't go into that. Didn't go into that part. Which, if you want to message me off, you can message me on Instagram, Nickynatro, and we can talk some more about that. Primarily, just wanted to share the testimony and the challenges. Any other questions? Anybody have any questions? Anything else to add? Abigail Clark. Thank you, Abigail. All right, so I guess that's it. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. My first live. I hope I never bore you to date. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule. I know you guys have ton of movies to watch or no Zoom for go on and stuff, and you took the time out to join me. I really appreciate it, and feel free to share this testimony if you wish to others, those who have not joined in. And you have a blessed rest of the night, and be safe, stay COVID free, and the Lord bless you. And I love you guys. Thanks for the support. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you're interested in the content that is, I'm not gonna force no none of you subscribe. So if you like the content, if you like what I put out, you can subscribe. If you don't like it, you don't have to subscribe. I'll take my time and climb. All right. So thank you guys again for watching. Thank you for tuning in. So you can, in order to get notifications, um, you have to click on that bell, that little bell there with the near the subscription button. You guys have to click on it. I have a video coming up. It's a hair video because this is primarily a hair channel. So I have a video coming up next week. So stay tuned so you can get notification when I upload that video. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. Bye.